What's up, everybody? This is Aya. How you doing? All my love to you. I'm so excited to be here. It's Friday. Happy Friday, Friday, January 6th. Happy Friday. We're up in here. We're talking about how close are you to buying from me? So my name is Aya. I'm a business success catalyst. I coach business owners, particularly parentpreneurs, to 10x their revenue, profits, and visibility. And I'm talking today about something that we all need to have is leads and how to qualify people from people who show any type of interest to becoming your clients, like how to get really good at qualifying people. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm so excited to be here. Listen, if you've been here for the first time, I want you to like this post. I want you to share this post. We're live today, right now, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Listen, if you're on Facebook, man, you better share this, invite this, send this to at least one people. If you're on LinkedIn, write in the comments, tell me that you're here in the comments, write in the comments, add some people that you think would benefit from this. If you're on YouTube, share, like, hit that likes button, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, you know what to do. Listen, this is a really good conversation that we need to have. We need to grow. We need to come together on. And I'm so excited to be here and talking to you about it. If you're here today, let me know in the comments that you're here with me. Let me know, talk to me, ask me questions. So it's so funny, like when I'm talking like serious hardcore business, it's not a lot of people on here, but I still am here. So if you read my post today on LinkedIn, it's so funny, like the feedback I'm getting from my post today on LinkedIn. I'll start there first because it's really interesting. And I did this whole conversation. Hey, what's up, Mr. Kwanzaa? How you doing? So I had this whole conversation on LinkedIn where I was talking about, yesterday I made a post about having strategic connections, because let's talk about social media. So today we're talking about leads. So yesterday I had a whole post where I broke down what is an actual lead. Why do I know this information? Why can I talk about these things? Because I was in business to business sales for 20 years. So I have been in the trenches selling for major corporations, medium corporations, small corporations. I have been a top performing salesperson. I have sold all kinds of things, all kinds of things. I have been always at the top. And on top of that, I've learned a lot. I invested in even as an employee, I invested in myself to become a better salesperson. Sales is not a game. It's not a joke. It's like hard work. And it really brings out the best in you. And it teaches you a lot about business. Like because you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset to even be successful in sales, because you're not making any money unless you sell something, right? So you're not making any money unless you sell something, right? And so you learn quickly how to sell something. You're like, okay, you learn quickly what you need to be doing. And so yesterday I was talking about what is a lead, and that's what this video about. The video is not so much about what is a lead. So I was defining it. And a lead is someone that shows interest in your product or service. And so then I told you, like, how do you know what's a lead? So social media is a great place. Social media, if you make a post about your business, so if you make a post about your business on social media, on any type of platform, and someone responds, they like it, they comment, they DM you, that's a lead. That's someone who has expressed interest in what you had to say, right? So you said something, they were like, oh, this is interesting. They expressed interest on it. Okay, what's up? Let's go, right? And so that's like really important to consider. So if you're in the comments, man, talk to me. I love that you're here with me right now. And if you have any questions, let me know. You're not making any money unless you sell something. That's period. Like that's where I'm coming from. Like y'all coming from, I'll talk to so many people on here and y'all coming from a different place. I'm coming from, like, if I don't sell something, I'm not making any money. So like, I've got to sell something to live. I've been living like that for like 20 years. So I have the perfect entrepreneurial mindset, because I'm not here trying to get you to like me. I'm not here trying to get you to like be my best friend, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm smart. No, I'm here to let you know I have a service, I have a business, I can help you, I can do this, and then you're going to exchange currency with me. So it's not like okay. No, it's about, let's get to business, right? Some of y'all are on here and don't have a revelation. It's all right though. Don't worry about it. So anyway, what we're talking about is, so you have that lead, so you make a post, and then what's great about it is if you post consistently about your business, your expertise, what you do, X, Y, and Z, over time, what's up? Julius is in the house. What's up, sweetheart? over time, people will be like, oh, okay, this is what you're doing. This is this is what you're doing. This is, what you're, and they're going to respond. And that's a lead. And yesterday in my post, I talked a little bit about, hey, there is a continuum to quality of lead. There is a continuum to quality of lead. So every lead is not created equal. Everyone who expresses interest in your business is not created equal, right? So everyone's interest level is not the same. So just because I could be like, oh, tell me about that. It could just, I'm saying that, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm like, hey, I'm ready to buy. And some people, they're like, tell me how I can pay you, because they're ready to buy. So you want to get the signs and the cues of the continuum of the quality of the lead. So let's talk about that. So for example, if you have, so I like to say 1 to 100, right? Because it's it's a nice juicy number, 1 to 100. So 1 is someone is like, they're just not really that interested. So let's say you are giving something away for free. You're like, hey, join my email list. And if you join my email list, if you give me your email, I'm going to give you this juicy thing. And they want the juicy thing, but they have no intention of staying with you. And so as soon as they get the juicy thing, they unsubscribe. So they definitely showed interest, but that's like a 1, because like, I want you to be with me forever, right? Versus 100. 100 is like, basically when you first talk to them, you're like, hey, well, how you doing? They're like, hey, how can I pay? That's 100. Hey, how can I pay? Hey, how can I pay? That's what I'm talking about, Joanna. Who wants to buy? Like, let's go. Who wants to buy, right? And so there's a continuum. And your job as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as your own sales team, and to train, if you do have a sales team, to train your sales team is to kind of have an understanding of this continuum, 1 to 100, right? And when someone is talking to you, you need to have ways to really talk to them to find out where are they in the continuum. Because you don't want to give a ton of energy and time and emotional energy and expertise to a 1, because they're not even trying to buy. You don't even want to do that to a 1. And the one who wants to buy our Julius. And you don't want to dismiss a 100. If a 100 is DMing you, is calling you, is visiting your website, you want to pay attention and be like, hey, how can I help you? Like, I'm here for you, right? And so you want to get that clear in your mind. And you don't also want to get your feelings hurt when a 1 doesn't follow through and stuff like that, so you have to keep things in perspective, and you have to understand where people are in the continuum. Just because someone says, like, so Joanna, like, she was just on here, she makes beautiful pastel drawings. I really love her paintings. I hope to get one this year, 2023. I'm trying to get me a Johanna Renee original, and I really love her pieces. And so if someone sees her piece and says, oh, that's pretty, that doesn't necessarily mean it's like, I'm about to buy your painting or I'm about to commission you, right? So she needs to be able to understand who is just saying, oh, I like your painting, it's pretty, because it is pretty, it is beautiful, it is wonderful, to who is actually going to be like, hey, I want to buy this, send it to me. You have to get to know the difference with that in any business that you have. That is really, 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 really important. Now, what I wrote about today is I was telling people, and it's so funny, like what people were saying. Yeah, oh no, for real. I love, I particularly love the ones you do with like color, like purples, like it's, I love that. I love the ones you do with color. It's everything. It's everything. Come on, let's go. What is up, Yinka? Yinka is a queen. She's from the British. She also coaches women in business. We just talked today. I'm putting her on the spot. We just talked today. She's so smart. She had me cracking up. She was like, we are critical thinkers. I love the British. I love the way they talk. I love how smart. She's so smart. And man, follow Yinka. She's amazing. I like her a lot. And sometimes, I love that. Okay, we're going to get into that. And sometimes I've just met her in an audio room. And so I hope to have a long-standing relationship with her. Anyway, I love that, Julius. So what I wrote about today is really important. We're going to get back to that, Julius. What I wrote about today is really talking about, you know, in when you are making connections on social media is free marketing. Like, it's free. You can pay for ads, you can do all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you should if you want to scale. But before you do all that, maximize the freeness. It's free. It's free marketing. And you can access hundreds, thousands of people on social media, period. Do you know what I'm saying? And so let's see. Nija in the house. So I'm talking about my people. We out here. My people are out here, okay? Doing great things. So so I said to you, like, every person on social media, if you have a business. So this is for people who has a business. Like, I'm not talking about if you have a business and you want to make money. You have to understand, you have to treat every connection like a potential customer, like they, like, what's going on. So if you have, so let's say I'm a business coach and all of my connections are business coaches. Why would I be surprised if I'm not getting any inbound leads? All my connections do what I do. Now, it's not that I shouldn't have coaches, because some people are public speaking coaches, relationship coaches, automation coach. There are all kinds of coaches, right? And if I need that, I'm gonna connect with them because I want to learn about that. But why would I have my whole thing full of business coaches? So when I make a post, they comment and everyone can see, oh, all these business coaches. Let me go to Aya's post to see the business coaches. I mean, like, come on. Like, come on, guys. Come on. So this is really important. It's really important. So it's really important. All right. So Joanna says, if everyone who says my pains are actually my job would be, that's the point. This is why you need to be able to identify the quality of leads, and you need to be able to ask yourself and also ask them so you can determine where to put your emotional energy. One of the things I learned in sales is that you cannot chase. All leads are not equal. This is not crime fighting. Do you understand? In crime fighting, you need to follow every lead. So do you understand what I'm saying? In crime fighting, if I want a detective to solve my family's crime or something happened to me, yes, they got to follow every lead to the ends of the earth. I'm for that. But this is not crime fighting. This is business. So you need to determine the level of energy that you're putting into something, because you need to determine, like, does this deserve my energy? A 1 does not deserve the same energy as a 100. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Yinka says, free of cash, but pays with time. So use it wisely. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Hebron says, I like the word maximize the freeness. And so that's what I'm talking about. Social media is free. It is free. Listen, it's free. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. You have something in your fingertips that is free for you to freely talk about yourself. For you to freely talk about yourself. You can talk about yourself as much as you want. Let me tell you what a friend told me. I'm an author. I have 9 books. And I was like feeling some type of way about putting my books onto my social media, but like, because, talking about it all the time. And he said to me, he was like, what are you talking about? This is your page. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about as much as you want to talk about it. And it just hit me. I said, okay. And it's true. Not to say that you don't want to talk about things that are interesting to your target market. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you want to use your personal social media page to talk about your business and talk about how you can help and how you can solve and how you can partner and talk about that's your prerogative. If you want to use your social media page to talk about kittens and cats and your personal problems and your man problems and your girl problems and, you're sick today and whatever, that's your prerogative. You can use your social media page to talk about anything. Many people use their social media page to get a lot of exposure free, a lot of people who know their name. But the problem is not everybody is savvy enough, and they're not savvy enough to turn it into monetization. And that's where it turns, because like, you don't need a lot of people to monetize. You don't need a lot of business people to monetize. You don't need listen, you don't need a lot of people to monetize. Do you understand? You don't need a lot of people to monetize. You don't. You really don't. Now, if you have, and let me tell you, do you know how many people I have? Do you know how many people I know that have a lot of followers and don't have any money? I know. So it's not crime fighting. This is not crime fighting. This is business. Okay. I can't chase every lead. That's not going to work. So, Julia says potentiality of a lead at times is the one that would lead us to every lead. And nonetheless, please be careful. Exactly. Yinka says business is why I'm here. So that's why I'm here too. Let's do the business. Solomon says, if you had unlimited resources, you could follow every lead. But since you don't have unlimited resources, you really want to be selective in which leads to follow up on. Oh my God, you just doing it for me. Exactly. We don't have unlimited resources, neither money-wise, even like ads, advertising. You know, when I work with my clients and we start talking about doing paid advertising, I'm like, if you're not maximizing the stuff that's free, how are you paying? Because if you can't maximize and turn something free into something, why would you pay? Because you haven't even proved it with the free. If you haven't sold one thing for free, like with your free social media marketing, why would you be putting thousands and hundreds of dollars a month towards it? I just make it make sense. Make it make sense, my people. Make it make sense. Yes, I like this phrase. I can use my social page to talk about everything. It's your page. It's your page. No, who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you, Hebron, from talking about what you want to talk about that's relevant to your business, relevant to your agenda? Come on. Let's talk about Yinka. Followers are not cash. Let me tell you, do you know how many people have 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 1 million followers? This is facts. They will have 1 million, but they cannot sell a t-shirt. They cannot monetize it. They cannot turn it into some money. So what I'm not saying is that, so turning things into money, being able to provide a product and a service and getting someone to exchange money with you and then leaving them happy, that's a skill. That's business. But social media is wonderful because you can do a lot of business on social media. And I want to right now shatter this idea that you need a lot of people to do business. You need a large following on social media to do business. You do not. You need people who are intensely interested or need what you have to offer. So Jonas says, that's Jesus. Sorry about pastel painting, man. That's right. So Jonas says, so true. You do not need a lot of people. I'm in my first sale with less than 700 followers. Come on, take us. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, we got to go to church. We got to go to business church today because we need to understand what we're doing out here when we're out here. This is, Yinka said time. This is your time. So you have to understand, you have to learn to ask people certain questions. It's okay to ask people certain questions. When you position yourself initially as a business and you talk about your products and the services that you offer, it is okay when someone reaches out to you and says, a lot of people will reach out to me a lot and they will be asking me questions. A lot of people, this happens a lot. They will reach out to me and ask me questions. And I will be like, immediately, this is such a great question. So I can point you to my social media. I can point you to my blog or my podcast or my videos, and you can kind of engage with me there. If you would like for me to talk to you, we can schedule a consultation. And this is a business service. I have to just nip it in the bud right away. Otherwise, I will be giving everybody some free advice. My advice makes people 10x their business. I give people one advice and they're making thousands of dollars. That's facts. That's facts. So I cannot be giving you free advice, talking to you because that's money. Because listen, people have changed their whole businesses off my social media profile. And I say that in love. I'm happy. That's why I do the service, because if you are getting what you're getting from me for free on social media, imagine what would happen if you partner with me in business. If you partner with me in your business and let me help you leverage your business, your sales team, your marketing, help you get to the next level. It's not a game. I can deliver. But so if people people, they DM me all the time. Every day somebody's DMing me about how my posts change their business. So if my free post can change your business, imagine talking to me for an hour about yourself. Me and you are talking for 1 hour. Imagine. Yet some followers could be monetized. Oh man, let's go. You do business with one person. Oh, so you need one person. I'm in my first sale before I got to one. Oh, That's a hand clap right there. That's a hand clap. She said she made her first sale before she got to 100 followers. Intention is important. If you don't talk about that, intention is important. Why are we all here? All right. If you don't talk about that. So at the end of the day, you need to understand how you need to ask the hard questions. That starts with you understanding, that starts with you positioning yourself well to position yourself that you're a business. So you don't have to feel bad if someone reaches out and asks you for your product or service. You don't have to be like feeling like, oh, it's the people who don't position, who are not like positioning themselves as business that, you know, it's like, oh, let's be friends. And then they're suddenly asking you to sign up to their coaching program. And you're like, I thought we were friends. Like, what's going on? So, you know, learn to ask the questions. So I'll give you some sample questions that you should ask. So when someone reaches out to you, you need to determine a couple of things. And you need to find a way to determine those things. The first thing that you need to determine is, you know, where are they at? Like, what is their actual problem and what is their solution that they're looking for? What is the result? So, you know, it's like let's go back to Joanna. She says, oh, I like your picture. And you're like, that's so awesome. You know, are you an art collector? That's a great question. Are you an art collector? They might be like, yeah, I am. Boom, that you already moving up. You moving up. Because I have like a tier system. 50 over 50 is gold. 50 to 100 is gold. That means there's something there. 25 to 50 is is silver. I'm sorry. And then 1 to 24 is bronze, right? And that's the tier system. And so I like to put people in those 3 buckets. And you want to just ask different questions upfront in a likable way, not confrontational or anything, but just clear. So if Johanna says, oh, are you an art collector? And they're like, yeah, okay, you're already in 50 because you already use your money to invest in art. You love art, you appreciate art, and you don't have any problem investing your money in art. That is on top of the list, because even if they don't buy a painting that day, they're most likely to continue to buy a painting if they continue a business relationship with Joanna. You know what I'm saying? Versus a 1 would be like, I've never bought a painting before and I don't even have a job, so I can't even buy a painting. So it's great that you like me and it's great that you like my paintings, but you're not really in a position to like move on that. And so therefore I cannot put any emotional energy or time into that. And so it's important that you do that, right? I mean, it's so true. Are you an art collector? I mean, it's a casual conversation. Oh, how many pieces do you have? What are you interested in? Before you even get to the whole, like, do you want to buy my piece? You just kind of ask them, what are you looking for? What size? Because when people are interested in actually becoming your customer, buying from you for whatever reason, they ask different types of questions. They ask because they've already worked it out in their mind. So they're like, what would it look like? They ask questions that are more concrete, tangible. How does the program? What does the product do? How can I, do it? How can I pay? They ask those types of questions versus like more intangible, like, oh, this is pretty. And you want to really kind of do that. So I like what Julia said. Our real intention is the one that we should ask ourselves. And ever watched the movie Cruel Intentions, don't ever do that to your followers, bro. And says, I've never actually seen that movie, Cruel Intentions, so I'm not exactly sure how that movie goes. But also Julia said, yet some followers could be monetized, but be careful not to go for profit. Responsibility comes first. Relationships should always be our first priority. Well, here's the thing. I love relationships, and relationships should be your first priority. But to have a business, you need profit. So to have a business, you need to sell something. You're not a business if you don't have any profit. So relationship building is an aspect of business, and you do need to have a good relationship. So the difference between a business and a nonprofit is I'm actually thinking about how I can get profit. I'm actually thinking about that. That's at the forefront of my mind. The forefront of my mind is, how can I serve this person? How can I give them what they need and want? How can I give them the results that they're looking for? How can I do what I need, what I said I can do for them? And then lead them in the conversation of like, okay, I want you to work with me and this is what it takes. So you have to develop your own system, develop a set of questions to qualify different leads. And that's what it's called. It's called qualifying leads, lead qualification, quality leads. Because if you don't qualify them, and it's all about strategy. So you have to ask yourself, like, and so many people are uncomfortable around it, but it's not something that you need to be uncomfortable about. It's just something that you just need to think it through. Think it through. So I'll give you an example from my own life as a business coach. So if I speak to someone, I'm like, hey, first and foremost, you have to have a business for me to coach you, right? That sounds so obvious, but hey, do you have a business? Do you have multiple businesses? If you tell me I don't have a business, it's like, well, where are you at in the continuum of starting a business? Are you looking to start a business right now? Are you looking to, like, do you have resources to start a business? Are you looking for, these are questions that I have to ask. So it's not that I can't work with someone who doesn't have a business, but I'm working with them to create their business, or you have a business. But if you say to me, oh, I'm just thinking about it, there's really nowhere for us to go, right? There's nowhere for us to go. Now, if you tell me, I really want your services, I really like what you're doing, okay, that's wonderful. So it's like, what is your timeline? That's a great question to ask people. What is your timeline? I've already told Joanna my timeline to buy one of her paintings is 2023. And, it might be like, well, when in 2023? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? It's okay to ask a follow-up question. So if someone comes to me and says, I really want you to coach me, great, that's so wonderful. What were you thinking? What is your timeline? It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be like, like you should coach with me today. No, just when are you thinking about coaching? Man, I really want to coach, in February. Okay, great. That sounds good. This is what it would look like to coach with me in February. Would you like to do that? Okay, if you want to coach with me, if you want to secure a spot, this is a deposit. If you want to, these are normal and natural questions that you think it through and that you should have when you are trying to qualify a lead. And qualifying a lead, because it's so important, because you need to think it through who you can actually work with. So every single business is different, and every single business is like, who can you work with? Where do they have to be able to work with you? How much revenue do they have to have? Where do they have to be mentally? Are they open? Because sometimes as a coach, like particularly in coaching, they might have a business, they might have the revenue. I mean, they might have the budget, like seriously, they might have the budget, all that kind of stuff, but they're not open to make the changes. And sometimes it's really good for me to catch that up front, because I have to have a hard conversation. Like, if you're not ready to make the changes, this will not be effective for you. And then you might feel like you didn't get your money's worth. So let's really talk about that. How committed are you to making changes? So coaching and applying this is all about you making changes so you can see the results. And if they tell me like, I don't really want to change anything, I could take their money, but it's just going to backfire on me in the end, because they're going to be like, oh, I gave this girl money and she didn't do anything for me. But in reality, the red flag was, I'm not really ready to make changes. So you have to ask yourself, take the time to think about questions, because qualifying, it was going to take energy. It's going to take energy. So if you write down those questions and you think it through, and you practice, because I practice. You practice in how to say it in a conversational manner. So you practice, okay, this is how I can say it in a conversational manner. Like in a conversational manner, it's like, okay, this is, and again, if you have already positioned yourself as a business, everyone who reaches out to you knows that you're a business, right? So they know you're a business. I'm not a charity. So it's important to how you already start off and position yourself. And even when you reach out to people, it's okay when you reach out to people, you do the same qualifications when you reach out to people. You ask them the same. You don't want to be like doing an inquisition. Like you don't want, and you definitely don't want to assume. I've had so many people in especially on LinkedIn, the first thing they ask me is like, oh, like, what problems do you have in your business? I'm like, I don't have any problems in my business, sir. Like, what? Stop this. And what I mean by that is like, almost every entrepreneur could be doing, like, you always be doing more, but don't assume that someone's having a problem. They can't get clients. They don't have any money. Like, stop assuming that. ask like, hey, is there any area in your business that you would like to improve? You know, is there any area in your business that right now you're working on improving? Do you think that having a coach will benefit you? Like, well, I would love to talk to you about that and how I could help you with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I love that, Joanna. So, these are some things that you want to think about, and you want to think about. So, for the month of January, I have a promotion, and my promotion for the month of January, it's just for January, it's just happening in January. I'm not doing it, it is I'm doing these strategy sessions, and I'm doing 3 sessions for $497. I think 6 sessions for $997. And they're strategy sessions for us to sit down and really talk about your business, like talk all these things through, get you a game plan that you can actually execute. It's not coaching. I won't be coaching you. But it's like sometimes it's so good to have that. And then, for some people, you can push it towards my coaching program. If you already feel my vibe and you like me and you want to coach with me, you want to 10x your business and you want to participate in my coaching program, I do one-on-one coaching, and it's around 4 months, and I do group coaching, which is around 3 months, and it's like a program, and we kind of go through different things, and that's my commitment to you, and I love doing that. So you can reach out to me, you can DM me, you can write me an email at aya@egbuho.com. You can call me 888-824-9153, and we can set an appointment and we can talk about it. And also, like, I have books, and I'm going to start to kind of, I'm right now like trying to create a digital product that I feel like can really help people. I think that's great. I think I'm really trying to do that. So that's something that I'm working on right now. I'm putting it out there. I'm working on a digital product that people can really just go at their own self-pace, like their own self-paced digital product. I think it would be kind of cool, and talk about all these lessons and so on and so forth. So I love you guys. It is Friday. I hope you guys are going to have a really safe weekend. It's the first weekend of 2023. Listen, you should do something amazing. Like, what a blessing to have crossed over. What I'm going to tell you is I'm a Christian. On Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I preach. This year I felt led to preach every Sunday on 2023. So I'm going live. I'm preaching. I'm not talking business. It's not business. I'm preaching. I'm preaching and teaching the word of God. I'm preaching. So if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, if you are spiritual and you want to hear me talk about spiritual things and things of the spirit, join me on Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I come together and I do that. So I love you guys. You guys are so amazing. I will see you next week at 1 o'clock. I want my content to be prolific and profound. I want my content to work for me. I want it to have like a cumulative effect. I want it to just be like boom, boom, like, all of a sudden it's just like, whoa. And so that's why I do this, because everyone is not going to be able to afford to talk to me one-on-one. But I remember when I started, I watched so many YouTube videos. I read so many books. I had so many mentors from a distance, and they changed my life, and that was great. And that's what I want. That's why I'm a writer. That's why I do all of this, because so many people helped me in this way, and allowed me to get to the place where I could, bye Julius, allowed me to get to the place where I could invest even more into myself. So this is also me giving back, but also like getting my name out there. It's like, it's working on all these kind of different things. So I just wanted to let you know that. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Share, like, comment, tell a friend. I will see you. All my love.